Okay, maybe I should have put the other camera lens on. That sun is intense, folks. I figured I would throw the number 8 ND lens on, because I was like, oh well, the sun will be going down if I'm recording at night. But I'm thinking now I should have put like the 16 or 32 on, because holy cow, like that sun it's burning my eyes alive. But I will say the sunset is going to be absolutely gorgeous tonight, and that's kind of why I went out. Obviously we're on a different bike too. We're on the KTM. It's a 2017 KTM SuperDuke 1290 GT. Ladies and gentlemen, hands down, in my opinion, probably the best sport touring. I put quotations around touring because there was a lot of work that needed to be put into this bike for it to be touring ready on this trip that I just went on maybe about a month ago. But if you're looking for a bike that has more sport than it does touring, then this is probably the bike. It's amazing. I mean, I can't get enough of this bike, honestly. But this bike alone is just crazy. I mean, it's dumb, but it's fun. It can get you in a lot of trouble. Ooh, look at that, FJR. I used to have that bike. Oh my god, look at all the cob. Look at all the spider webs. That's how you can tell I haven't ridden in a little bit. Golly, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, this bike is just dumb. But fun dumb. For the topic of today, I was talking with my buddy last night, playing Minecraft, but I think the topic of today, and I've been kind of going over this in my head for a little bit before I went on my ride, or on this ride, is what to start out on. You know, that is such a big question when you're getting into motorcycle riding. I mean, that's the first thing, that's how you get into motorcycle riding, is what bike are you gonna ride? And you know, everybody's in different positions when they start. Some people don't have as much money, or some people aren't fortunate enough to have as much money to buy something that's, you know, brand new or super duper nice. And that's okay, because I started there. I started with a bike that was, well, honestly, back then in 2016, which is crazy because it's really not that long ago, but back then my bike, 2007 FZ1 Yamaha, it was $2,800, and it had 9,000 miles on it. Which right now, if you look at bikes, the prices are absurd, and I think it's because it's such a new thing that people are discovering or wanting to get into, that prices are just insane right now. So, you know, when you're looking at bikes, first of all, what's your budget? That's going to determine what kind of bike, in all reality, what you can get. What's your budget? What do you think of yourself doing when you're riding? Do you think of going on longer trips? You know, do you want to just do some in-town riding? Do you just want to use it for errands, for groceries, or whatever the case may be? You want to establish your riding style. What do you think your riding style is going to be? What appeals to you? And those two things, budget and like riding style, I guess is what you would call it, are going to be the two main things that I would look at when looking at a bike. Those will tell you at least a category of bike that is going to fit you and what price you can afford it at. Maybe a couple of things you got to consider as well is your height, is your weight. As much as that sucks, but it's true. You know, a heavier bike, you're probably not going to be able to move around as a super light person. You might not even be able to pick it up what happens if you drop it? You know, things like that. Those are things that you have to consider, especially if you think that you're not going to be going out on group rides right away, or maybe you don't have somebody to teach you how to ride a motorcycle. Yeah, so height. How tall are you? What's your inseam? Because a lot of motorcycles, if you're looking at more sportish motorcycles, let's say, you're gonna be looking at inseams of seats. So from the ground to the top of the seat, you're gonna be looking at 30 plus inches. So that's the thing to consider. I mean, there's so many different things. But in all reality, I mean, if you can't figure something out, just ask. You know, go on a forum, or hell, on a video like this, a first-time motorcycle rider video. Look at the comments. You know, obviously, I'm more than happy to help answer questions, but I'm always not going to be there. But who knows? People in YouTube comments, they're crazy, man. So ask questions. There's no hurt in asking questions. Get involved with Facebook groups. That'll be a big help, because those people, or there's a lot of people in those groups that will respond right away to those questions, because they're more than happy to help. CC of the bike. What's the engine size? What's a good starter bike? You know, I would say if you have a background in riding dirt bikes, probably dirt bikes. Dirt bikes are going to be the closest thing. I would say if you have a background in dirt bikes, and those are two very different things. But if you have the concept of clutch, brake, shifting, braking hard, you know, stuff like that, then I would say you're probably, if you're looking at a sport bike, you're probably looking at 600cc. If you have previous knowledge or previous experience with two wheels. Now, if you're not, if you don't have that experience, the best bike to start on, or the best CC bikes are going to be anything probably under 500 cc's. Those bikes are going to be lightweight, so you can maneuver them, you can gain confidence. That's what it is gaining confidence in yourself, knowing that you can ride the motorcycle. And those bikes, excuse me, sorry. Wow. Those bikes are going to be perfect. Because, I mean, you definitely can get in trouble on those bikes. You can get in trouble on any bike. But they're not going to make you feel uncomfortable or make you scared of it. That's what you don't want. You don't want to be scared of it. You want to have fun with it. You want to be able to enjoy it. And right away, you might not enjoy it because there's a lot of things you got to think of. But over time, you're going to gain that confidence faster with a bike that you feel more comfortable on, because you know it's not going to hurt you. So there's that. And I'm just talking about sport motorcycles because obviously I ride sport motorcycles. There are some 600 cc's that you can get that are like detuned. Even like SV650 would be great. Or an FZ6, or an FZ6R, or a CBR F4i. There's so many bikes out there that you can find. And those bikes, and that's another thing, when you're thinking about price, the lower CC bikes are going to be cheaper. And they're going to have really low mileage on them. So you know that they haven't been beaten on. Maybe they have, but hell, it only has 3,000 miles on it. Unfortunately, they don't hold their value, and that's why so many people buy the brand new bikes and then they sell them and they lose on it, which is unfortunate. But that's where you can gain. That's where a person that's starting out on motorcycles can make a gain on getting a bike that had just been bought, has low miles, and dropped in value. They're perfect for the pickings. Another thing to think about is going to be whether you want to, if you have cash, I would say pay for it. Pay for it outright. Because when you take a loan out in the state of Minnesota, or maybe it's everywhere, maybe it's all banks. I'm not sure. I haven't done the research on that yet. But I know for my bank, if I took a loan out on a vehicle, or for a vehicle, sorry, I have to have full coverage on it. Now, if you're under 25 years old, let me tell you, full coverage on motorcycles, especially sport motorcycles, have your pocketbook ready, because they aren't cheap. Which don't let that shy you away. So that's why I say, if you can pay for a bike outright, and you don't have the cash to put full coverage on it, put liability on it. If you want to ride that bad, you will figure out ways to make it happen. And sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. Or, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because everybody's in a different position. But I've always paid cash for bikes. It's just peace of mind. You know that it's paid for. You don't have to put full coverage on it if you don't want to. And you can sell it, hopefully, and make a profit on it. Like that, in all reality, is kind of like the grand scheme of things, to be able to own a motorcycle and then maybe get a little bit of profit out of it for your next upgrade. What brand motorcycle? That's completely up to you. What do you like it for style? What do you like for color schemes? Because there are certain motorcycles that are better with color schemes, let me tell you. Yeah, color schemes, just aesthetically how it's designed, what piques your interest. There we go. That's why we came downtown. Look at that sunset, baby! That's gorgeous. Yeah. There's a lot of things to think about, but again, don't overwhelm yourself with all the things that you have to think about. Think about the things that are more of a priority to you. Budget. What you aesthetically like. What fits you. What's your riding style. Those are some key things that you should be looking at or thinking about when you're buying a motorcycle. And if you follow those things, more than likely you're not going to end up selling your motorcycle because you don't enjoy it. Go take a test ride. If you have the cash and you have your learner's permit and you have an idea or an understanding of how to ride a motorcycle and you have your license, go and test ride a motorcycle. There's used motorcycle dealerships everywhere. Not just here in the cities, but, ask them if you can test ride something. It may be a little scary, but some people might be comfortable to do that. So that's always an option too, to see what you like and see what you don't like. But again, if you follow those steps, or if you follow those little pieces of advice, you're going to find yourself liking the motorcycle, and you're not going to be like, well, why the heck did I get this thing? This thing's uncomfortable and I like longer rides. Well, that's kind of dumb. That doesn't make sense. Think about it. Put some time into it, because if it's something that you care about and you're putting money into it, then you don't want to be disappointed with it. So take some time. Motorcycles are everywhere. If you see one online and it's like, oh man, I gotta have that one, don't worry about it. There's always going to be another one. Always. Don't rush into something that is going to make you have an impulse buy, because that's the worst. It's the absolute worst. You know right away when you buy it that you're like, yep, I messed up. I shouldn't have bought it, or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be a motorcycle. You've probably had that feeling. So yeah. Oh yeah, the Twin Cities. It's just, this is why I still like living in the Twin Cities. It's gorgeous at night. I love it. I don't know if you saw the stadium, but that was purple. It was lit up purple. It's gorgeous. So, yeah, those are things to think about. You know, obviously, big things for finding advice, Facebook groups, Discord chats. Those are always big. On, like, YouTube, like, guys that have YouTube channels or that do motovlogging have Discord chats. Go in there, ask questions. YouTube comments, or just plainly look it up. You know, do some research and find out what you like. I think that kind of sums up what I wanted to talk about tonight for buying your first motorcycle. I'm sure there's some things that I've left out. I'm not too prepared. I wasn't too prepared. I kind of just like did this off the rip. So, you know, you get what you get. Don't throw a fit. You know, why is this guy still in the left lane? Come on, my guy. Let's go. Yeah. Just a little bit longer video than last time, so I'm happy about that. It's weird how the conversation just carries on. Like, I can just keep talking about this kind of stuff for forever. And that's honestly why I started this, is because I just enjoy... I enjoy giving people advice. I enjoy helping people learn something that I love, because there's a reason I love it, and there's a reason a lot of people love it. So why not help people learn to love what you love, I guess. Like, in the grand scheme of things, we're doing 45 and a 55. I'm usually not impatient, but I've been behind this guy for, you know, a couple miles now. Is he getting over? I don't know what the heck that was. I definitely want to pass him now, though. I don't like him. Swerve. Oop. Didn't mean to say that. And now he's doing 70. Dude, I tell ya. Yeah. So, I think at this point I'm pretty happy with how this conversation went. I hope you found something useful out of it. Obviously, the more I do this stuff and I learn editing, because I haven't learned any of that, I kind of just jumped into it. Once I learn a little bit more editing and a little bit faster ways to be able to include links to maybe YouTube channels that you can go to, or other YouTubers, motovloggers that you can go to that may have a better breakdown of things, or just like forums or Facebook groups that you can join. I hope to be able to do that so that it makes it easy for the people that are consuming this content. It makes it easy for them to be able to find what I'm talking about, because it's the worst having to look around all the time. It's nice when it's right in the description. So I'll get there. Don't worry, I'll get there. Just give me a second. I gotta learn this stuff yet. And that's another thing, is I hope to get help from people online about motovlogging or editing or whatever the case may be. I love to humble myself because I like to learn things. So as much as I can take in, I'll take it. And I hope to put it to good use. What else is on my mind? I can't remember, mate. I don't remember what's on my mind. Yeah, I think we're gonna pass this guy. Oh, this bike is just too much fun, man. And the exhaust, I only have I have the stock muffler on this thing, and then it's just the catalytic converter is taken out, so it's just it just comes straight off, straight pipe right into the stock muffler. And this bike sounds amazing. When you're on the highway, you don't hear it like this bike just sounds like it's humming, like a stock bike. But you give it a little bit and, you know, she talks to you. I love when she talks to me. I think I'm going to end this video at 25 minutes because 25 minutes is going to be a long video. This is only the number 8 lens, and there's the 16 and the 32. So it kind of sucks because right away when the sunset goes down, it's so bright. I mean, it's just insane. And then after it drops, it's like you need the clear lens, which I should probably just bring my case with, and then I can swap them out. It only takes like a couple seconds or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to show what the sky looks like at night on this camera with this setup. This is THE1, the one. Don't forget it. Stay 2 wheels down. Peace out, guys.